Listen, listen. If your husband has a will, right, or your husband makes a will and decide to share the property, and mostly your husband gives a lot of the properties to the kids, and you are the wife or the woman, I need you to shut up. Shut the f up. I ain't gonna be those spiritual people that's gonna come here and go woo ha. Now I'm gonna talk about things that is happening in real life. That's what I'm gonna talk about. And when I get revelations on the other side, I'm gonna come here and talk about that too. I'm divorced. I did marriage 2010, separated for a minute, got divorced. I was forcing my husband to divorce me in 2017, and motherfucker was just, I'm serving him papers, blah, 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 blah. He wasn't doing it. God said, you want to go back to school, go back to school. Don't worry about it. And I always told myself I wasn't ready for marriage, you know. So all the proposals that came after my marriage, I always said no. Some of them I took the engagement ring, and then later when I'm like, I don't want the marriage anymore. So to cut it short, 2022 is when I officially became a divorced woman, as a single woman. So all y'all people that were sleeping with me since 2000 and, okay, let me say, all the people that have sex with me, you had sex with somebody's wife because I got divorced 2022 and I'm not having sex, so nobody have had sex with me yet. But prior to that, all of you were sleeping with a married woman. Anyway, how y'all doing, man? Listen, if you're married, now I will do marriage again if it's spiritual. That means my person will have to be spiritual. Other than that, if I'm going to do the slavery marriage that I did before, where my identity will be somebody's father's identity, even though I'm a woman, for the rest of my life, I will be referred to as a man's name. And y'all be surprised why souls will be coming in. They will be like, I think I'm a man and I'm in a woman's body. I think I'm a woman, I'm in a man's body. Yeah, because in this life, they will call you Mrs. Johnson, Mrs. Joe, Mrs. Asamoah, Mrs. Kofi, Mrs. De La Cruz. Meanwhile, all these are men names. So you are carrying men's spirits. I'm going to tell you why these men are gay. It's in your face, but you don't get it. They don't like women. That's why when they marry you, they give you a man's name. So the only way they could be with you, they see you as a man. That's why you are Mrs. Johnson. And your real name is maybe Josephina. Maybe your name is Emma. You're like, nah, don't call me Emma. Call me my dad's name. Call me my husband's name, Mr. Lewis. So if I'm ever going to do slavery marriage where I cannot have my own identity, where I have to kick my father's name and take somebody else's father's name, even though that person is not my DNA, it's not my blood, I'll only do that for money. So if you don't have money, don't ask me to marry you. I'm just putting it out there. You got to be spiritual. And I'm going to make a video on that. It's deeper than that. If you're married and your husband has a will and he will most of the properties to the kids, as a married woman, I don't know what your problem is. I don't see why you are. You see this Obinim and Pastor Obinim and Mrs. Florence Obinim. You know, I'm seeing the videos, and as a spiritual person, I'm like, if my man want our children and the church members to bury him, what? I don't care. If my husband tells the world that he has made a will, or he has made a will and he has shared the properties, and the kids have their own share in the will, I'm okay. Because guess what? I'm a mother. And I pray for my son's father, not for my benefit. I pray that he stayed long. I pray that he lived long. I pray that he's healthy. I pray that my children have their father in their life. I pray that when he makes a will, he should give all his property to his kids. Now, if he decides that, for instance, is a good woman that I made babies with, she's a wonderful soul, maybe I'm going to give her a little something. I'm okay with that. So yeah, married women, you know what? As time goes on, I think I'm going to have to come on live and really explain a lot of things. Y'all got everything wrong. If your husband will all his properties to your children, you should be happy. What your children should do is that they should be responsible for you. Yeah, if your husband will all his property to your children, and he's dead and he's gone, and your children have the company, the house, and the thing, your children are supposed to make sure that mom is okay. But we live in a world that they told you when you get married, everything goes to your husband's house or everything goes to your wife. And so you guys, somebody wrote a book and said you have to leave your parents to go and take somebody's child and cook for them for the rest of your life and raise them for the rest of your life while your parents are sitting somewhere. That's all wrong. When you wake up spiritually, you're going to see it. But today's message is simply that if your man or your husband, even if it's not your husband, your man, right? Because you could have a baby with somebody, and if they know you're a good person, they could be like, oh, my baby mom's or my kid's mother, I'll give them a little something. She's a good woman. Some of these men know that they know some of the women that they've had in their life are good women. These men know. Just like y'all women know some of these men that have come in your life were good men. You understand that? Stop with the yapping. What is marriage? Isn't it because of the kids? I'm going to end it here, all right? This is for the married women. If your husband decide that he or she, he's going to will his property to the kids, you shouldn't get mad. If you're a woman and you have, you bless and you want to make a will and will all your property to your kids, that makes sense because your kids are your DNA. They're your blood. Your wife is not your blood. She's not your DNA. Your wife is somebody's daughter that you went and brought in your house to come and cook and slave for you. So that's what your wife is. But your children, your wife can always get married. Your wife can remarry again. Your husband can remarry again. But your children are for life. Do you understand that? And so if you have a man and that man is even smart enough to say, hey, if I die and I don't make a will as an African, they will be fighting over my properties. My children will be miserable. At least my wife, she can take care of herself. Let me make a will and put everything in my children's name. As a mother, you should be happy. That's the difference between me as a spiritual woman and you. I will be happy. If my kid's father called me today and say, hey, I made a will and whatever I have, I gave it to the kids, I'll be like, smart. That's good. They should get it. And that's how you should be thinking. Wise up. Wise up. Are you getting married to him so you could have all the house? You will not take it anywhere. You will not take the house anywhere. You die. My grandmother died and left our home. If I ever go to Africa with some of y'all going to see. She died and left the home. Means we are all going to die and leave everything here. Why are you guys always fighting, trying to accumulate all of these things? Every parent wants their child to bury them. So if your husband want to give the property to the kids, aren't you happy? You should be happy. But again, because y'all made a rule and said, God said you should leave your parents and go and take care of somebody's son or somebody's daughter, that's why the women are feeling that way. They feel like the husband should give them some of these properties. Because they know once the kids get married, they cut them out. But you should never be like that. You should never cut your parents out. I end it here. I love you. One love. You should be fighting for your kids.